There's a pain that cuts deeper than any wound you can see. It's the sting of betrayal. The quiet moment when someone you trusted with everything turns their back without warning. You don't forget the sound of that silence. But listen closely. Betrayal isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of theirs. Because betrayal is a debt they can never escape, a shadow that follows every step they take. No matter how far they run, their own choices will call their name at midnight. And today I want to remind you that what was meant to break you will become the very weight that breaks them. The wound betrayal leaves is not only in the heart of the one betrayed, it burrows deep into the soul of the betrayer. They may smile, they may carry on as if nothing happened, but inside a storm begins, the very moment they walk away from truth. Their conscience becomes the loudest room they'll ever live in, echoing with every promise broken and every trust shattered. In the stillness of night, when the world quiets down and no distraction is left to hide behind, their mind replays the moment of disloyalty in relentless detail. They hear their own words coming back like thunder, and no pillow is soft enough to muffle the sound of what they have done. It's not a single pang of guilt. It's a continuous soundtrack of regret that grows louder as days pass. Because conscience does not forget. It keeps records more permanent than stone. At first, they may mistake that noise for something they can drown out. They might keep their schedule full, chase entertainment, and surround themselves with new people to avoid silence. Yet the conscience is patient and cunning. It waits for the late hour when their phone is off, when the music fades, when they drive home alone. And then it starts to speak. It whispers first, just a flicker of unease, but when ignored, it rises to a roar. They can buy expensive distractions or fill their calendar with noise, but nothing cancels the inner replay of the betrayal. Conscience has a way of cornering them in an invisible room where escape routes do not exist, and the walls echo with everything they thought they had buried. As days turn to weeks, they begin to notice that ordinary sounds, like a sudden knock at the door or the ring of a phone, startle them more than they should. That's because guilt teaches the senses to overreact. They imagine someone knows, someone has discovered their secret. Even when no one is there, their own mind builds a jury and a judge inside that loud room. Each thought is a gavel striking, reminding them of the person they wounded, the trust they shattered. They might laugh in public, but deep inside they flinch at their own memories. What they don't realize at first is that their greatest punishment is not exposure. It is the endless presence of their own awareness, a voice they can't silence no matter how high they turn up the volume of life. In that restless space, sleep becomes fragile. They toss and turn, replaying conversations and the look in your eyes when you trusted them. They might wake up at 3 a.m. with a sudden memory like a flash of lightning, their heart racing as if they are being chased. And in a way they are, chased by their own choices. They begin to fear the quiet hours, dreading the moment they must face themselves. Morning comes, and they put on the mask of normalcy, but inside, they are already tired, carrying the weight of a night spent arguing with their conscience. What once felt like freedom from responsibility becomes a heavy prison, where the walls are built of their own decisions. They start to notice how conversations about honesty or loyalty make them uncomfortable. A random phrase from a stranger, a scene in a movie, or a song lyric can feel like an accusation. They might even snap at innocent questions because every ordinary word now carries a hidden meaning. This is how the conscience works. It doesn't attack them directly. It invites them to see their own reflection in the most unexpected moments. They can change cities, change jobs, or change the people around them, but the voice travels with them like an unshakable shadow. No matter where they run, they are always inside that room, hearing every echo. The louder their conscience gets, the more they try to prove to others and to themselves that they are fine. They might chase achievements, shower social media with happy pictures, or jump into new relationships quickly. But deep down, they know that success built on betrayal feels hollow.
Come on.
Applause can't fill the emptiness that guilt creates. Compliments fade as soon as they close the door behind them. And they are left with the same relentless noise. That's because the conscience isn't fooled by appearances. It only responds to truth.
Come on.
And until they face what they have done, every victory tastes like dust. Over time, the guilt begins to shape their daily decisions in subtle ways. They hesitate before trusting someone else because deep down they expect to be treated the way they treated you. Suspicion grows like weeds in their relationships, making them restless and defensive. They start to see betrayal everywhere, believing everyone carries the same hidden motives. This is the mirror of conscience. It forces them to live inside the very fear they once created for you. Where they once moved boldly, they now walk carefully. Because every new friendship and opportunity feels like a test they might fail. Relationships become fragile under that weight. Friends notice their guarded tone, partners sense the invisible wall. People might not know the full story, but they feel the tension. Conscience has a way of communicating through body language, through nervous laughter, through an edge in their voice. They may try to explain it away as stress or bad luck, but deep inside, they know the truth. The betrayal that once seemed like a single act has become a constant influence shaping every connection they have. What they did to one person ends up affecting everyone else they meet. Even when they try to justify their actions, telling themselves they had no choice or that you deserved it, the mind keeps bringing back inconvenient facts. Memory is stubborn. It refuses to rewrite the past in a way that lets them sleep peacefully. Small details come back with painful clarity. The exact words they said, the way the air felt in that moment, the look they saw on your face. Each detail is like a hammer striking their defense, reminding them that truth does not disappear with time. They can argue with the world, but they can't argue with their own soul. As the years pass, they begin to see the long arc of consequence. The friendships that might have supported them in hard times are gone because trust was destroyed long ago. Opportunities that require integrity quietly bypass them. Even when they achieve outward success, there's a quiet hollowness. The loud room of conscience doesn't age. It stays as sharp as the day betrayal happened. In public, they may stand tall, but in private, they live with echoes that never fade. And that is the silent justice of life. When someone chooses betrayal, they choose a lifetime of inner noise that no amount of applause, wealth, or distraction can silence. Trust is like a bridge built over years of shared laughter, late night talks, and moments of raw honesty. Each plank is a memory, every nail a promise. When someone chooses betrayal, they set fire to that bridge with their own hands. At first, the flames may look thrilling to them, a burst of independence, a sense of power.
Yes.
They may even smile as they watch the connection collapse, thinking they've freed themselves from responsibility. But as the smoke clears and time stretches on,
yes,
they begin to see the true cost of what they destroy.
Absolutely.
The bridges they burn leave them stranded in a desert of their own making, and that desert grows wider and harsher. Every day they continue down the same path. In the beginning, they might feel untouchable. The rush of escape can be intoxicating, making them believe they've outsmarted loyalty and skipped the hard work of keeping relationships alive.
Yes.
They may convince themselves they've found freedom, that they finally cut ties with what was holding them back. But freedom built on betrayal is an illusion that fades quickly.
Come on.
The very people who once offered comfort, wisdom, and support no longer stand on the other side, waiting. When challenges arise, there is no one left to call, no familiar voice to lean on. They start to sense the emptiness beneath the excitement, a silence where once there was connection, and the loneliness begins to echo.